So question to somebody out there, did the 30-second blink nerf go through? Does blink take like 170 to build? Okay. So blink shouldn't be really an issue for people. That was a pretty significant nerf. Alright. I'm not going to talk about this early game build order too much, but it looks like you're doing the right things. You've identified 2 gases.
Our SCVs are under attack. Upgrade complete.
This engineering bay is it was way too early. The earliest, like, I personally, I don't go off supply counts very often, but for this I do. My trigger for the eBay is supply count. The earliest I build it is 30, and lately I've been pushing myself to build it a little bit later, like 34, 35. I think that's when you should build it. And that will come out in time for a 1 base oracle. For like a proxy Stargate oracle. You can build it at like 34, and if I scout double gas, what I do these days is I build 1 turret in my main, like I'd build it right here, and then I'd leave all my Marines at my natural, maybe a few over here, and just that 1 turret. And then I'm completely safe against oracle, mothership core, or anything that could come out of a Stargate. And then if I identify oracle, I build another turret. But just 2, only 2 turrets, no more than 2 ever. Okay. So only Marines, I think, is correct. I don't like this second turret, personally. Oh, this is your first turret. Okay. I like 1 turret. That's good. Perfectly good. And the factory. So, yeah, 2 is overkill. Just to note, the oracle is going to just fly over your Marines and come in from the top. Okay, so blink is identified. So, when you get caught off guard by something, don't fight right away. There's almost no situation where you just want to, like, snap, send everything, and try to just shut it down. If nothing else, you need to give your brain a little time to, like, think and figure out the best way to deal with this. So, there's certain things you have to, like if you see a Marine tank push about to siege up outside your base, sometimes you have to pull all your SCVs and engage it immediately. But blink is, you don't really need to. Blink is something you really need to handle properly, and you're just going to get out microed if you just, like, if you have an inferior army. Okay, so far lost a few Marines. Looks like 4 Marines. Pretty significant. So the most important thing to have in mind is that time is on your side. You can afford to lose like 15 SCVs probably. You've got, yeah, you could lose probably more than 15. Your opponent's, in this case, is on 1 base with 22 SCVs. You could go down to 10 SCVs and still win this game easily. With 2 orbitals, you know, if that's the only damage you take. So just keep that in mind. Immediately start building Marauders out of your Tech Lab barracks. You don't want to build like 3 Tech Lab Marauders, because you want the firepower of Marines, but you also do want some Marauders. This turret just doesn't need to happen. It's not going to help you. So, yeah, don't build turrets. So the most important thing is to defend stim. If you can finish stim, you should be in decent shape. You can throw down like a couple extra barracks, maybe even a starport, macro-wise. But then I guess the way to defend Blink, the key part of all of this is you want to keep him out of your base. Okay, so you want to, when he blinks up and commits to any sort of engagement, you want to pull the right number of SCVs to force him back. The minimum number of SCVs, but you have to pull enough so that he can't just blink micro efficiently and beat you down. So in this case, you've pulled too many SCVs, so he's going to have to back off, but the cost is too great. And then just losing these Marines, you can't afford that at all. And usually after they blink out, you can just go back to mine and pull your Marines like back. You can just pull your Marines back here and go back to mine with everything. And then when he starts to blink up and attack you again, then you just pull your stuff again. But yeah, another part of this is you want the barracks with the tech lab to be in a safe part of your base. This tech lab is very exposed, so putting your barracks over here. Like, barracks placement doesn't matter that much in TvP. You can put your barracks just about anywhere, but one of the defining builds that you need to think about for placement is blink all-ins. The other one is like void ray all-ins. That's about it. There's not too many scary proton builds. So yeah, at this point, you just don't really have a good way to win, assuming your opponent can micro reasonably well. And if you're ever running against blink stalkers in your base, the game is over. You gotta just keep pushing them out. That's the only way you can beat that build.